Hi, good day everyone. So today we'll be doing CSEC math. Alright, we're going to be doing CSEC Maths Paper 1, Section 8, which is Geometry and Trigonometry, and it's going to be from January 2025 to 2017. Right, so let's go ahead and start. January 2025, Paper 1, Section 8, which is the Trigs and Geometry, number 53. Alright, so the first one is the item 53 refers to the following diagram of a circle with its center O. Angle POQ is 122, so this is 122, and they want to know why. One of the rules for circle theorem is if you have the same chord, which is PQ, right, the same chord, right, and the one at the center is twice the size at the one at the circumference. So y would be 121 divided by 2, which is 61. So the answer would be C. Right, item 54 refers to the following diagram. In the diagram, PQ and RS are parallel. So this is PQ and this is RS are parallel. Which of the following best describes the relationship between x and y are equal. Why? Because if you look at it, we have interior angles of alternate angles and alternate angles, as the angles that are in the internals of a z are equal. Right? Yeah, that's correct. Item 55 refers to the following diagram, which shows triangle ABC here, and its image BAC, and its double image ABC here. After triangle ABC undergoes a composite or double transformation, what sequence of transformation will this go to the second one? First of all, that cannot be a reflection because it will be an inverse. This is definitely not. This is definitely not an in. Oh, hold on. So x is equals to 1. So yes, we have a reflection from here to here, and then followed by a transformation of let's go see. We go in negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so it'll be A. Right, that is the sequence. We first have a reflection and then a translation. Right, so the answers for 55 is A. In each of the following diagrams, image A image is the image of A on the diagram shows a reflection in the y-axis. So the line of reflection is on your x-axis. This line right here. So if it is a reflection, therefore it's supposed to be D. Right? That's the only one that has a reflection along the x-axis. In triangle ABC, angle A is x, B is 2x. What is the size of C? So that is x plus 2x plus C would give you 180. So C would be 180 minus 3x. So that is A. Right, 58. It refers to the diagram below. The angle of elevation of point Z from X, of point Z. So you're going from Z from X from Z from X is 35, right? If X is 15 centimeters or meters, supposed centimeters from Z, and the height of, they want to know the height here. So we have your hypotenuse, you have this angle, and they want ZY, which is my opposite, right? I put the only one I will be using is sine. So which one has sine? All of them. Well, not A and not D. So it's either this one or this one, right? So I know sine 35 is going to be zy over 15. If I want zy to be the subject, I carry this across. So 15 sine 35 will give me that. So I know that the answer is C. Right? The length of MO, they tell you it's similar triangles, meaning the angles are the same. The length are scalar multiples of each other. So if I want, I know MN multiplied by 2 is going to give you AB. That's what you're seeing, right? 3 multiplied by 2 is equals to 6. So you know that this multiply some value x multiplied by 2 is going to give you 7. Right, so that would be 3.5. 3.5 multiplied by 2 is equals to 7. Under the translation, minus 2, 3, the image. So we know image plus the translation is your object. So what is the image? Minus 5, 3 plus negative 2, 3 is equal to my object. Sorry, I'm saying image, but this is my object plus. What nonsense am I saying? This is wrong. Hold on. Erase that. The formula is my object plus my translation is equals to my image. That is xy plus negative 2, 3 is equals to negative 5, 3. So x plus negative 2 is minus 5. We know that would be x minus 2 is equals to minus 5. So x would be minus 5 plus 2. So x is equals to minus 3. And y plus 3 is, hold on, am I saying the correct thing? Under the translation negative 2, 3, the image of 5, 3 is the image, sorry, this is your object. I was reading it and I got confused. So they're asking you for your image. Again, it is your object plus your translation is equals to the image. We know the object is negative 5, 3, translation is negative 2, 3, and you want x, y. X would be minus 5 plus negative 2 is negative 7. 3 plus 3 is equals to 6, so the answer would be negative 7, 6. Right, and that is the end of January 2025. Let's do May, June 2024. Paper 1, Section 8, number 53 to 60. Right, the sum of interior angles of a polygon is 4 right angles, and the polygon is the interior angles. They're telling you 4 right angles is 4 by 90, which is 360. Right, so we know that the sum of interior angles is 180 by n minus 2. Right, is equals to 360. By the way, we should know this. This is a quadrilateral, right? First off, but we could check it out. This would be n 180 n is equals to minus 360 is equals to 360. Carry this across. That's 180 n is equals to 720. So n would be 720 divided by 180, which is 4. Right? And that's how you would have done this question. Item 54, in a right angle triangle above, which is the trigonometric ratio of 4, 8. Right, so first off, 8 is my hypotenuse. Right, if I'm looking at x, right, this is my opposite. If I'm looking at y, right, this is my adjacent. Just depends. So if I have sine x would be my hypotenuse 8 over 4, which is not the case. If I have tan, so we put so ka toa, right, we have tan y, so we're using y, so therefore this is my adjacent, and my opposite, you don't have any opposite, so you can't use tan. The only one that you could use tan is x, right? So we can't use this. sine y. If it is sine y, it would be sine y. That is the hypotenuse. It's my upper. Hold on. Let's take my time when I'm doing this question. Okay, so if it is sine x is opposite, which is 4 over my hypotenuse, which is 8. I don't know why I'm saying hypotenuse over opposite, but the answer for this is sine x. The rest of them would not work. Right? In triangle, what is the x value? So we know that x plus 30 is 180. So that is x plus 60 is equals to 180. So x would be 180 minus 60, which is equals to 120. So the answer would be C. Right, 54, the length of MO. This is a repeated question. It is 3.5. This one here in a diagram, the translation by which AB maps onto, so they're telling you it's a translation. So we're going from 2 to 4, and we're increasing by 1. So we're saying 2, 5 plus xy is giving you 4, 6. So x would be 2, y is 1. Right, so it's a 2, 1. Let's see, 5 plus 2 is 7, 7 plus 1, right? So it would be 2, 1. Right, 58, it refers to this diagram, triangle O, A, oh, this line. Line OAA and line OBB and OCC are straight lines. So this, and where is OBB? Right, and OCC. So that's these two lines here are straight lines. ABC is mapped onto right by an enlargement with the center O. What is the scale factor? So we're going from CB is 1 to 2. So the scale factor is an image 2 over 1, which is 2. So the answer is D, 2. Right, 59 refers to the following diagram, which shows the angle of depression. If F is 25 meters from E, then the distance of FG in meters is, now looking at this, let's see what we could find out. This is 90 degrees. This here would be 90, so this would be 60. Right, and then we could also find out this one, which is 180 minus 60 plus 90, which is 60 plus 90 is 150. So this would also be 30 degrees. Alright, that's what we know so far. We want to find FG. So first off, let's look at what we can find out here. So if I want to find FG, if I am using tan, right, tan is, let's put so, ka, toa. Tan is my opposite over my adjacent. So I have tan 30. So if I'm using tan 30, my opposite would be 25 over my adjacent, which is what I'm trying to find, my adjacent. And I want to make the adjacent the subject, because that is what I'm trying to find out. Carry this across, and then I'll have to carry this across. So my adjacent, tan 30 is equals to 25. So my adjacent would be 25 divided by tan 30, and that is the answer. A is your answer. Right? Then let's look at item 60. Refers to the following diagram of a building. A surveyor sets up a surveyor sets up his instruments A surveyor sets up his instruments 12 meters from the foot. So this is 12 meters from the foot of the building, and records the angle of elevation at the top of the building. An estimate of the height of the building can be obtained by doing what? Now we say that this is 1.6 meters. So you're going to be adding that 1.6 plus the length of this. Okay? So first off, I know that this is my opposite, my 40 degrees. Right? And this here would be my adjacent. So I want so ka toa. So I don't have my hypotenuse, so I cannot use this. I have tan 40 is going to be my opposite, which is the length of the building, 1.6 meters off the ground, over your adjacent, which is 12. Right? So if I want to make my opposite the subject, I carry this across, so that would be 12 tan 40, and I'm adding 1.6 because I want to find the total distance, which is my opposite, plus 1.6, so the answer would be A. And that would be the end of May-June 2024. Let's do January 2024. Paper 1, section 853 to 60. This is a repeated question, but we need to make sure it's not a similar question, not a repeated question. Item 53 refers to the following diagram, which is a translation. In the diagram, we have A to image A and B to image B. A 2 plus 1, so that 2 and 5 plus x and y, which is my translation, would give you 4 and 6. 2 plus 2 is 4, 5 plus 1. So it'll be 2 on top, 1 on the bottom. This is a repeated question, so the answer is B. You could check for B. 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 plus 1 is 8. So yeah. This one here, which of the following best describes as P and Q? Because they are the interior of those Z or alternate angles. Yeah, alternate angles. We know that P is equals to Q. A ship sailed 8 kilometers from the east from A to B, then sailed 6 kilometers due north to C. Which of the following diagrams best represent that? So we have north, south, west, east, right? So they're saying a ship sailed 8 kilometers east from A. So we're starting at A and we're going east, so we're going from A to B. So we are looking for 8. This is 6, this is 8, this is 8. So the only one would be this one so far. Also, this is 8. Right, so it's either C or D. Right, this is 8, but we're going from then it sailed 8 to C. So we're going from B to C. This one, it does not have B to C, so it is not this one and it's not this one. So we're going 6 north, and that is going up. This one is going down, so the answer would be C and not D. Right, remember north is upward direction. Alright, number 56, in a polygon, A is equals to x degrees, angle AB a supplementary. What is the size of angle B? In a polygon, angles A is equals to x, and A and B are supplementary, meaning that if you add A and B, you're supposed to get 180. So A plus B is equals to 180. Thus x plus B is equals to 180. So B would be 180 minus x, which is D. Right? Item 57 refers to the following diagram, which shows a graph. If the line y is equals to x is rotated anti-clockwise about through 90 degrees. So we are going in an anti-clockwise direction, and we're going to end up back here. That is the line that you're going to get, right? Because this is 90 degrees, right? This line is y is equals to negative x. So A is the answer. Item 58 refers to the following diagram, which shows a triangle within a circle. L, M, and N are equal, right? First off, this is 90 degrees, right? And therefore this is equal. What is the angle of A? So we have two sets of A's plus 90. How I know it's 90? Because this is a diameter, a triangle that is part. Which, if a side of a triangle is a diameter, the angle opposite the diameter is 90 degrees. Right, so 2a plus 90 is 180. So 2a is equals to 180 minus 90, which is 90. So a is equals to 90 divided by 2, which is equals to 45. So the answer here is B, 45. Right, item 59 refers to the following diagram, which shows that the angle of depression of a point X from Z is 35. If Y is 12 meters, first off, this is also going to be 35 degrees. And let's just talk about that. We want to know X to Z, so we basically want to know the hypotenuse. Right, this would be my opposite. So I know that I have my opposite and I have my hypotenuse. So I will have SOHCAHTOA, right? I have my hypotenuse, so it can't be tan. Anything with tan would be incorrect. So you're going to use cos or sine. So we have sine 35 is equals to my opposite, which is 12 over my hypotenuse. If I want to make the hypotenuse my subject, um, it would not be equals to this. The one was for sine. If I have to carry this across, it would be hypotenuse sine 35 is equals to 12. So my hypotenuse, which is what I'm trying to find, because it's sorry, oh my gosh, is xy we're trying to find, not your hypotenuse. This is why, guys, you have to read your questions carefully, right? So this is 35 degrees, right? I am trying to find xy, which is now known as my adjacent, right? So I am looking for SOHCAHTOA. So anything with hypotenuse would be out. So it's not sine and it's not this. So I have tan opposite, which is 12. Tan 35 is equal to 12 over my adjacent, right? And if I had to find A, it's adjacent. Oh, yeah. If I had to find A, I would not get this. So I'm not using this. I'm using this angle of 55. How do I know that it's 55? This is a 90 degrees. So this would be 90 minus 35, which is in fact 55. So the only one with 55 would be D, right? So if I'm using this angle, 12 is now my adjacent and 55 is my opposite, right? So tan 55 would be my opposite, which is my opposite, which is xy over my adjacent, which is 12. So if I want xy, I just need to carry across 12 and I'll get 12 tan 55 is xy, and that would be the answer for this one. This one, which is a trigonometric ratio 4 over 8, I want my hypotenuse. So SOHCAHTOA, right? I want 8, so it can't be tan, so not this. I want my hypotenuse to be below, which is sine or cosine. So let's use x, so that sine x is my opposite, which is 4 over 8, which is the same, which is the answer. This is a repeated question, so that is the answer for this question. That would be the end of January 2024. Let's look at May, June 2023. Paper 1, section 8, numbers 53 to 60. What type of transformation? Mass PQR to image PQR. That is a reflection, so B. In which of the following polygons does the sum of interior angles to the sum of the exterior angles? The sum of exterior angles is 360. That is a quadrilateral, right? This one, what 55 refers to the following diagram, which shows y is equals to negative x. What is the image of y is equals to negative x when it rotates anti-clockwise, right? So about 90 degrees. So you're going to get a line here that says y is equals to x. So that's D. Right, 56 refers to the following diagram, which shows a translation of triangles AB. A BC onto image ABC. In a diagram, the translation by which ABC maps onto a triangle ABC is represented by, you can do this two ways. You can take an object and image and subtract the two, and you'll get X, the translation. Or you can use your, this is B, we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 along your x-axis, and then along your y-axis we're going down, so it's minus 1, 2, 3. So 5, negative 3, so the answer is C. Right? If it was going up, hold on, no. This here is your, this here is your object, and this here is your image, if I'm not mistaken. It does have, let's just zoom up to make sure. Yes. So what we have to do, same concept. You take A, we're going to the left hand side, so therefore it's negative. We're going to the left hand side along the x-axis, so it's negative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? And then 1, 2, 3, so it's negative 5 and positive 3. So it's E. Right? 57 refers to a right angle triangle. In the triangle, BAC is 30 and AB is 40. The length of AC is, that is my adjacent, right? This is my hypotenuse, and this is my opposite, right? This is also 60. That's 90 plus 30. That's 120 minus 180, so this is 60 degrees, depending on you. So let's do the 30 degrees and see which one works, and if that does not, then we'll use when the angle is 60 degrees. Right? So when the angle is 30 degrees, right, this is my adjacent and this is my hypotenuse, which is equals to 40 centimeters, sorry. Hypotenuse does not change, the adjacent and opposite changes depending on the angles that we're looking at. So let's look at tan. Let's look at SOHCAHTOA. We are using tan. Tan is equals to the opposite, which is, so if we use tan 30, right, we're looking at BC, which we don't want to find, so this is out of the question. If you're looking at sine 30, right, we are trying to find AC, which is my adjacent, so we are not using 30 degrees, right? So now we're going to be looking at the 60 degrees. If this is 60, let's just erase this. If this is 60, then, if we're using 60, this is now my adjacent and this is my opposite. Right? So I want to find my opposite. So sine 60 is equals to opposite AC over 40. AC would be 40 sine 60. So A would be my answer. Right, this is a repeated question. They want to know what is the scale factor. The scale factor was actually positive 2. Right, then a plane is flying in a direction of 45 degrees and changes in a clockwise direction of 135. Angle throughout the angle the angle through which the plane is turned is. So it would, the angle through which the plane turns, if it going in an angle of 45 and it goes in a 35 degrees and it turns to in a clockwise direction of 35 degrees, that means it would be 135 minus 45, which is 90 degrees. If the angle P formed by two equal sides in an isosceles triangle, P is equals to X, what is the size of angle Q and R? Right, so if a triangle, if angle P is formed by two equal sides, right, so you have PQR, angle Q and R are equal. So P is X, so X plus Q plus R is equals to 180, and Q and R, let's call this A and E. X plus A, so 2A plus X is equals to 180. So A would be 180 minus X divided by 2. So that would be C. And that is the end of June 2023. Let's look at January 2020. Paper 1, Section 8, number 53 to 60. This this is a rule of circle theorem. We say that if you have an angle at the center and an angle at the circumference produced by the same chord, in this case AB, the one at the center is twice the size as the one at circumference, so that means y is 50 times 2, which is 100. Right, that would be D. Right, these are alternate angles, and we know that alternate angles are equal. So x is equals to y when they ask the relationship between x and y. 55, let's look at number 55. Right, what is the sequence of transmission? Well, that will map PQR WXYZ onto the second image WXYZ. So they want to see two things that is going on. So to go to WXYZ to first image WXYZ, we can see that that is a reflection. So anything with reflection first, not A, not B, and not C. No, sorry, not A, not B, and not D. A reflection, and then there was a enlargement, right? So the answer would be B, sorry. 56, they want to know reflection along the x-axis, that is D. 57, in a triangle ABC, A is equals to x, B is equals to 2x, so that's 3x plus C is 180, so C would be 180 minus 3x, right? 58, in 58, let's read, refers to the following diagram below. So we know that this angle here, please note that this angle here is 35. So this angle here would be 35 minus 90, which is 55 degrees. I think we did this question recently or just now, right? The angle of depression at the point x to z is 35. If x is 12 meters from y, the height of y z. So if you're using 35, this is going to be my opposite, but if you're using 55, this is going to be my adjacent. So it all depends on what you are using. So let's see. This is my adjacent, and this is my opposite, and this is my adjacent. That is tan, opposite over adjacent. So I would know it would be tan 35 is equal to these zy, which is what or yz, over the adjacent of 12. If I carry this across, zy is now 12 tan 35, 12 tan 35, which is D. Right, and that is how you would do this question. Item 59 refers to the following diagram for a right angle triangle. We did this was sine x, but we know that sine x would be your opposite, which is 4 over 8, and that is what we need here. We did this question as well. They want the image, that is negative 2, 3 plus negative 5, 3. Negative 2, negative 5 is negative 7, and 3 plus 3 is 6, so negative 7, 6 would be the answer for this question, which is C. Right, and that is the end of January 2023. Let's look at May, June 2023. Paper 1, Section 8, number 53 to 60. Right, let's go. First one, the sum of interior angles of a polygon is 4 right angles. 4 right angles is 360. Then the polygon is a quadrilateral. Right, hold on, as a quadrilateral. This here, what is the transmission? It's a reflection. This one here, this is 30, this is 30, this is x, that's 60 plus x is 180, so x would be 180 minus 60, which is 120, which is C. This one here, the length of MO, this is a repeated question, 3.5. We know that similar triangles have same angles, but they are scalar multiples of each other. So 3 multiplied by 2 is 6, so what multiplied by 2 will give you 7? That's 3.5. Right, this question here, the image of P, 1, 2 under translation minus 5, 4. So that would be, so we know that what is P and image P, they want to know the translation. So that is 1, 2 plus x, y in your translation would give you minus 5 minus 4. Let's put x and y. So 1 plus x is minus 5. So 1 plus negative 6 will give you minus 5. And 2 plus also negative 6 will give you minus 4. So the answer is E. Alright, a plane fine. This is a repeated question. You just subtract the 2, you'll get 90 degrees. And that is the answer for this question right here. 90 degrees. This one here, we also did this question. We said that it was plus 1.6. So anything with minus would be out of the question. And we know this is the opposite. Right. And what is my opposite? My opposite is... Okay, first off, let's do this question. We know that the length of the building will be my opposite plus the 1.6. Why it is the opposite? Because we're looking at 40 degrees. Okay, this is the opposite and this is my adjacent. That is tan theta is equals to opposite over adjacent, which is 12. So that would be tan 40. So 12 tan 40 is equals to my opposite. I add in 1.6 to that, so that is answer for B. This is a repeated question, by the way. 60. The diagram below shows. Right, the diagram below shows the angle of depression of x from Z is 30. So therefore, this here is going to be 60, and this here is going to be 30. Depending on which one you're looking at, we're trying to find the height of this here. So if we are using 30 degrees, this is my opposite and this is my adjacent. Tan 30 is equals to the opposite over my adjacent, which is 10. So 10 tan 30 would give you my opposite. So 10 tan 30, that is E. Right, and that is how you would do this question. That is the end of May, June 2022. Let's look at January 2022. Paper 1, section 8, which is trigonometry and geometry, 53 to 60. This is a repeated question. The answer, if I recall, was 2, 1. So 2 plus 2 is 4, 5 plus 1 is 6, 5 plus 2 is 7, 7 plus 1 is 8. So it is B. Right, this is a repeated question. Relationship between P and Q is A. Right, a ship sailed 8 kilometers due east from A to B, then sailed 6 kilometers due north to C. So we're going, if you want, you can put this. This is north, south, west, east. We're going to this side first, from A to B for 8 kilometers. So this to this. Right, and then from B to C is 6 kilometers due north, which is up. Right? Yeah, so the answer would be C for this question right here. Right, let's look at this one now. Item 56 refers to the following diagram. We know that y would be twice the size of 50, so this is 100. D is equals to 100. This one here, it rotated 90 degrees. It's here, so y is equals to negative x. So A. This is our next repeated question. X plus 2x plus c is 180. You want to know what is c. C would be 180 minus 3x, which is D. Item 59, the height of... It is a repeated question, but you need to pay attention to it, guys, because they like to change it up just a littlest. And you'll see, first off, this is 35. Hold on. This is 35. This is 55, right? We know that this is 12 meters, and they want to know the height, which is yz. If I use 35, this is my opposite, and this is my adjacent. So that would be tan 35 is equals to my opposite over 12. So my opposite would be 12 tan 35. Is there an answer like that? 12 tan 35? Yes, see, so you know that is the angle that you was using. Right, item 60. This is a repeated question. I think it's sine x, but let's just see. If you're using x, this is the opposite. So sine x would be opposite, which is 4 over hypotenuse, which is 8. So it would be A. And that is the end of January 2022. Let's look at May, June 2021. Alright, May, June 2021, paper 1, section 8, numbers 53 to 60. This is a repeated question. This is a reflection. This here, in which of the following polygons is the sum of measure of interior angles equal to the sum of the exterior angles? We know that the sum of exterior angles is 360, always equals to 360. The one that has interior angles is 360 is a quadrilateral, so that's D. This is our next repeated question. It rotated 90 degrees anti-clockwise. So this is the line here, which is y is equals to negative x. This one here is a translation. We're going from 2 to 4 and then 5 to 6. It was 2, 1. I'm not mistaken. 2 plus 2 is 4. 5 plus 1 is 6. 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 plus 1 is 8, right? This one here in the triangle, BAC is 30 and AB is 40. The length of BC, that's this here. If we're using 30 degrees here, right, we can also use this, which is 60 degrees, right? So let's use 30. How would you find BC? That is my opposite, and that's my hypotenuse. I would say sine 30 is equals to the opposite over 40. So my opposite is going to be 40 sine 30. Do I have 40 sine 30? Yes, A is your answer. Right, this one here is also a repeated question. They want to know the scale factor, which was positive 2. Right, the plane flying, this is a repeated question. It was 35 minus 45, which is 90 degrees. This is also a repeated question. They want to know the size of angle R. They didn't use R in the previous questions. They used A, B, and C. That's P, that's x plus 2, x plus angle R is equals to 180. So angle R would be 180 minus 3x, which is D. And that is the end of May, June 2021. Let's look at January 2020. Paper 1, section 8, number 53 to 58. This is a repeated question. They want y. We know y is twice the size of 50, which is 100. So this would be D. This one here, the relationship between x and y, they are equal. This one here was a repeated question. They wanted to know the sequence from this to this and then this to this. This has a reflection, so you're looking for something that has a reflection. A translation of 8 units to the left. A mistake was made. This is not supposed to be a rectangle. This is supposed to be a reflection. Right? Reflection. A reflection in the y-axis followed by the enlargement. The answer is B. Right? In each of the following diagram, A is the image of A, Which of the diagrams show reflection in the x-axis? That's D. That's a repeated question. This one, we just now did this question, but they use PQR or something along those lines, which is 180 minus 3x. Right, 58. They wanted to know YZ. Right, so we know that this here is 35. So if we use angle 35, this would be my adjacent and this would be my opposite. Right, that would be tan. So tan 35 is equals to my opposite over my adjacent of 12. Carry this across. That's tan 12 tan 35 is my opposite. Do I have 12 tan 35? That's B, so I know that B is your answer for number 58. Right, I don't have number 59 and 60. Right, so let's go directly to January 2020, paper 1, section 8, number 53 to 60. Alright, let's look at it. This here, this is a repeated question. The translation is 2-1. This is a repeated question. P is equals to Q. This is a repeated question. They go 8 kilometers due east and then 6 kilometers due north. So you're going to the right hand side like this and then going up for 8 and then 6. So it is in fact C. This one here. In each of the following diagrams, OA is the image of OE. Which diagram shows a reflection along the y-axis? Your y-axis. So it will not be this, will not be this, will not be this. It has to be, that's B, right? Yeah, that's B. This one here, a repeated question, 180 minus 3x. This one here, they want to know the scale factor. So what you would do is look at this line from here to here is 2. And then from here to here is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2, so the answer is D. This one here is a repeated question. We know MO is 3.5. We know that 4 divided by 8, that's sine x would be opposite, which is 4 divided by 8. So that's how I got the answer A. And that is the end of January 2020. Let's go to May, June 2019. Paper 1, section 853 to 60. Let's look at it. This is a repeated question. I don't even need to read it. It's a reflection. This one here, if it is, that means this is 30. If it's an isosceles, this was 120, which is a repeated question. Hold on. 55. Which of the following best describes the relationship between x and y? X and y. I think they're supposed to have an image, and most likely it's B, right? The diagram we does usually see. Let me see if I can get it. X and y. Okay. I don't know. Is it that I missed out something? 1 second. Okay, the diagram's supposed to look something like this. Right? The diagram supposed to look something like this. This is X and Y. Right? O, this is the scale factor question. This is 3 by 2 is 6. So what by what would give you 7? That's 3.5. Right? So the answer is C. Right, this is a question. What is the translation? I think it was negative 6, but let's go. 1 to xy plus xy. They're giving you minus 5 minus 4. 1 plus minus 6 is minus 5. 2 plus minus 6 is negative 4. So the answer is E. Right, this one, the scale factor was 2. This one here, we had to subtract when the plane was turning. That was 90 degrees. This one here, we'll check it out. This is 30 degrees and this is 60 degrees. They want to find this height here. If I'm using 30, I would be, this is my opposite and this is my adjacent. That is tan 30 is equals to the opposite over 10. So that's 10 tan 30 would be my opposite, which is A. So that would be the end of May, June 2018. Let's look at January 2018. Paper 1, section 8, number 53 to 60. It rotates anti-clockwise, and you get a line like this. Y is equals to negative x. Then this here, the measure of ABE, that's this angle here, would be, it's on a straight line. So this is 180 minus 58, which it ends into 5. That's 2, 122. So the answer is B for this question. Right, which of the following angles are equal? Right, so which angle is equal? DBC and CBE? CBE? No. CBE and ABE? No. ABD and CBE? No, they say CBD. No. ABD and CBE? Yes. These two would be equal. Right? Vertically opposite angles are equal. So it's D. Right? In which of the following diagrams A is the image of A? Which of the diagrams show the reflection on the x-axis? The answer is D. Right, this one, the triangle, that's 180 minus 3x. This one here, you know, it's 3.5. This one we had 8 kilometers from A to B, right? And then we go towards the east and then go up 6 kilometers. So it has to be C. 59. Under translation 2, 3, the image of 3, 5 is. This is our next repeated question, but let's do it. 3 minus 5 plus 2 minus 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. Minus 5 minus 3 is minus 8. So that would be C is the answer for number 60. And that is the end of January 2018. Let's look at January 2019. Let's look at May, June 2018. Paper 1, section 8, number 53 to 60. Each interior angle of a regular polygon is 60. Then the polygon is 60. Each exterior angle. Okay. So we know the exterior plus the interior is supposed to be equals to 180, I believe. Yeah. Okay, first off, it's a regular polygon, meaning all sides are equal. We know that the sum of exterior angles would be 360, right? It's always 360 divided by 60. Sorry. So the number of sides or the number of angles would be 360 divided by 60, which is equals to 6. And that is not a quadri, not a pent, not a triangle. It would be C. Right, 54, relationship between x and y, they are equal. This one, x is 120. This is a repeated question. Okay, number 56, the image of point P minus 2, 3 undergoes a translation 3, 4. So they want to know the image. So you know your object plus the translation is equal to your image. Object plus the translation is equals to image. So that is negative 2, 3 plus 3, 4 is equal to my image. 2 plus negative 2 plus 3 is 1. 3 plus 4 is 7. So the answer is D for 56. 57, they want to know what is the transformation AB to CD. That is reflection and the y-axis. This one here, the area of ABC is 20. What is the area of MNO? We know that this is if you look at the scale factor, when we're looking at area, your area of ABC would be K squared multiplied by area of MON. Right, so that is 20 is equals to 2 squared, which is 4, multiplied by this area. So that would be 5. So the answer is C, 5. Alright, so now we have this one. This is a repeated question. You know your scale factors too. Right? So first off, you know that this is 30 degrees. Right? This is 30 degrees. And this here is 60 degrees. So if I want to find out this length here, I know that this is my opposite. I know this is adjacent. So tan 30 is equals to my opposite over 10. So therefore my opposite would be 10 tan 30. I see that answer is A, and that would be the end of May, June 2018. Now we're going to look at January 2018. Okay, so again, January 2018, paper 1, section 8, number 52 to 60. This one is a repeated question, so the answer is 2, 1. It's a translation. 2 plus 2 is 4, 5 plus 1 is 6. You check beta, image B. 5 plus 2 is 7, 7 plus 1 is 8. Alright, we know Y is twice the size as 50, which is D. This one, we know that it headed 8 kilometers east from A. So it's A to B is east, right? You do this, west, east, north, south. So it's going this direction, and then 6 kilometers north. So the answer would be C. Number 55. Number 56, a transformation which will map triangle PQR onto this. This is not an enlargement, not a translation, not a reflection. It is a rotation of 180 degrees about the origin, right? And that is how you would get this answer here. Hold on. Why did it's not this? I circled it. It's not this, not this, not this. It's E, right? Then item 57, you want this. This is 35, and this is 55. So let's see. If I'm using 35, this is my adjacent, this is my opposite. I want YZ, right? So that's tan 35 is equals to the opposite over 12. So do I have 12 tan 35? I do, so the answer would be C. This one here, this is a repeated question. This was 2 and this was 4. So my enlargement would be my image, which is 4 divided by 2, which is 2. Right, this one here, sine x is a repeated question, but you can check. Sine x would be my opposite, which is 4 over my adjacent, which is 8. So it would be A. This one here, in the diagram above, AB equal EC here. EC. AB is parallel to EC. The value of BDE, so that's this one. We know that 40 and this angle here are supplementary, so that means 40 plus some angle here is 180, so this would be 140. So the answer here is D. Right, and now we're finished with January 2018. Let's go to May, June 2017. They want ABE 58, and this angle here supplementary, so this angle here would be 180 minus 58, which is 122. Yeah, hold on, this would turn to 7, so yeah, 122. So the answer is B. This one here, this is an isosceles, so this is 30. So this is similar to something that we have been doing with answers 120. This is an anti-clockwise rotation. It's a repeated question, so that's why I'm not reading it. This is y is equals to negative x, so that is D. This one here, MO, this is 3.5. This is again repeated question, right? The triangle not run to scale. This is 30, this is 90, so this is also, this is 60 degrees, right? 30 and 90 is 19 and 12. It's 120, and then this is 180 minus 120, which is 60. They want the length of BC. So if I'm using 30, this is my opposite and this is my hypotenuse. Sine 30 is equals the opposite, which is BC, over hypotenuse, which is 40. So BC is equals to 40 sine 30, which is A. And this one here, the triangle not drawn to scale, AB is 17, BC, AC is 15, and BC is x. What is the value of x in centimeters? Now, what do we know? This is an right angle triangle, so we're going to use Pythagoras theorem. So we know that 17 squared is equals to 15 squared plus x squared, right? So 17 squared, let's do this properly, is 289 is equals to 225 plus x squared. So x squared would be 289 minus 225. So x squared is equals to 64. So x would be equals to the square root of 64, which is 8. So B is your answer. Right, 59. What is the size of angle R? Similar question. P and Q is 3x. 3x plus R is 180. So angle R would be 180 minus 3x, which is D. Right, this one here, this is our next repeated question. We know we have to add 1.6. So this and this is out. That is the height of the thing. This is the 40 degrees, so this here would be your opposite. So you're adding your opposite and the 1.6 to get the height of your house. So it is, and this from here to here is 12. So it would be my adjacent is 12, my opposite is opposite, and theta is 40. Adjacent and opposite, we're using tan. So tan 40 is equals to opposite over 12. So my opposite would be 12 tan 40, right? And do I have 12 tan 40? Yes, plus 1.6, so the answer is D. And that would be the end of May, June 2017. Let's look at January 2017. Paper 1, section 8, 52 to 60. This is the last year that we'll be doing. Y is twice the size of 50, which is 100. This is under the translation 2, 3, the image of 3, 5 is. So 3 minus 5 plus 2 minus 3. 3 and 2 is 5 and minus 8. So 5 minus 8 is the answer. This here, BDE. This is a repeated question, is 122. It was 180 minus 58. Which of the following angles are equal? So angle ABD and CBD. This angle here and this angle here are equal. This is a repeated question, so that's why I went directly to that one. So D is the answer. Remember, vertically opposite angles are equal. This is a repeated question. We know that it's a translation of 2, 1. This is a repeated question. Angle C is 180 minus 3x. This is a repeated question. MO is 3.5. The diagram above for sine C is, this is C, right? So sine C would be my opposite, which is 5 over, hold on, no. First off, if you're using this, we need opposite over hypotenuse. Do we have our hypotenuse here? We do not, so we need to find our hypotenuse. How to find your over hypotenuse? My hypotenuse is going to be, hypotenuse squared is 5 squared plus 12 squared. So hypotenuse would be the square root of 25 plus 144, which is 9, 4, 5, 6, 169. The square root of 169 is 13, so it will be 5 over 13, which is A. Right? How far up is the wall? How far up the wall does the ladder reach? So we basically want to know your hypotenuse, right? Item 60 refers to the following diagram which shows a ladder 5 meters long. Oh, 5 meters long, leaning against a vertical wall. The foot of the ladder is 3 meters away. They want to know this. Right, so that is your hypotenuse as 5 squared is equal to 3 squared plus, let's call it x squared. So that's 25 is equal to 9 plus x squared. So x would be square root of 25 minus 9. That is x is equal to square root of 16. Yeah, which is 4. So the answer for this is E. And that is the end of January 2017 for trigonometry, and that is the end of this video for our trigonometric and geometric questions in your multiple choice.